right, so it looks like I'm live, and it looks like we're rolling now, and I'm just making a couple preemptive strikes on this thing because we did quite a bit of alterations to this instrument to get the pickup heights correct, and I think now I've got that done. Now we'll get started on talking about what I've done here in a moment. Hopefully he'll wait for a couple people to join in on the stream so that we can explain what we're doing. Kevin, hey brother. Okay, Kev, I just got some really oops, okay, it looks like things are going pretty well here. I don't know, please tell me if you're seeing some buffering going on in the stream. I've set it to ultra low latency, and I'm not sure if my computer will keep up with this. It looks like it's buffering right now. If you could tell me if it's clear and clean, I'd appreciate that. And I should have good audio at this point. And you don't have to, but it would be helpful to me. It looks like my mic's working just fine. So we shall see. So I'll share with you real quick. You know our friend Mark. I believe you've met him. I got some real good news from him, and I'm going to kind of keep that on the down low right now. But yeah, crystal clear. Okay. Excellent. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate your participation. All right, so I got some really great news, and so next week could be an interesting week for me. Kevin, yeah, sounds good. Okay, I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to dive into this thing. I'm going to precurse this. It looks like a few people are showing up. Thank you for joining my stream. Anybody can come in and comment as much as you'd like. If anything gets carried away or you start being negative in any way, you'll be timed out. But we usually don't have to go there. Okay, so this bass is it's a PV Grind is the model, and it has non-active pickups. It has these individual saddles that I'm kind of not certain why they actually did this, but and you'll notice that they're kind of spaced a little bit odd, and I'm not quite sure why that happened, probably in the manufacturing, but what I have had to do on this thing is get these saddles low enough, and they were made from the factory. Now what happened, here's a replacement saddle that I purchased. I'm going to precurse this stream by kind of filling you in on what I've had to do thus far. Here's one of these saddles. It's this part. These were too high because the neck angle on this instrument has changed to being uphill instead of downhill like a normal bass should be, or an instrument should be. It is a neck through, so I can't put a shim in the neck. I can't adjust the neck angle in any way, shape, or form aside from cutting the sides off of this or taking all of the hardware off it and redoing everything. So we're not doing that. Obviously, if you've worked on a neck through instrument, this is the kind of the worst case scenario with that. So just a little precursor. These saddles are too high because the neck angle going uphill means that I have to lower these so low that we can get the string action playable. Now the other thing is this instrument was probably built with very green wood, meaning it was wet when the instrument was built, all of it, and the frets were popping out the side of the fingerboard. It had fret sprout and what I call cheese grater fret. So I've had to go across this fingerboard and definitely grind down the sides. I used a 30 degree fret angle fret edging tool to get the fret edges proper so that they're not sticking out. Then we went through with our file and made sure no metal was sticking out, no sharp shards of metal. Now the other thing that happened here is that with the wood shrinking, it's pushed a bunch of these frets up out of the fingerboard. And so what I have done, we had great string action up to about the 12th fret. Then from here forward, right about here, we started hitting frets. where the frets had popped up. So I used my hammer to drive those frets down. Again, I'm just explaining what's happened so far, and drove those frets down. It still was not enough. I couldn't get the string action low enough so that when you hit a note on this thing, it was clean without fret buzz. And in fact, here at the what is this, the 19, let's see, 17, 21st fret, it was fretting at the 23rd fret. So fret level and crown on this instrument. So yesterday I did the fret level and crown. I've been getting pulled away from this instrument, so I haven't been able to focus on this thing. So I took care of the fret level, and I only leveled it from the 12th fret to the 24th fret. It's a 24 fret instrument, obviously, and really a beautiful instrument. It sounds great. So did the fret level, polished fret level and crown, then polished the frets, cleaned up the fingerboard, treated it with linseed oil, did all of that. Now, the other thing that this thing had wrong with it was that the pickups, because the neck angle being so high and having to lower these these saddles down so low, the pickups were literally almost touching the strings. Now, I tried to lower the pickups. Well, the body cavity wasn't routed out far enough, so I had to router out the pickup cavities using a Dremel tool. And so I've removed enough material out of the bottom of these pickup route holes to get the pickups low enough that I can keep them away from the strings to stop that problem from happening. So now that I've done all of that, I still have a little bit of grinding to do on this G string on this. Again, it's a 5-string bass. So what I'm going to do here is remove some more material, because I have to grind down the front edge of this thing. This is the actual saddle here, but the saddle's so low that the string actually hits this front edge of this saddle, right? So as you can see, there is a lot basically wrong with this instrument. So I'm grabbing my round file, and I'm going to go ahead and grind on this for a bit here, and I'm going to remove some more material so that my string isn't hitting, so my string will hit the saddle, not this front edge. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the actual saddle out of here. I know that the saddle is now low enough that it's basically too low, so I'm going to pull this saddle out of here just like that. I've ground off the bottom of it. I did that this morning before we got started here today. So a load of work. So now I've got room here to remove material from the front edge of this saddle block. I'm just calling it a saddle block because I'm not sure language-wise what you would actually call this part. But I've got to remove probably I don't know, close to a 1/16 of an inch off of this thing. So here we go. Now, another option I would have for taking care of this problem would be to pull this saddle out of here and maybe grind a little bit of material off the bottom of it. Can you do the same with the saddles? I'm not sure. If you're talking about grinding this down, yes, I could do that, but still, this is in the way. This is too tall. The front edge of this block right here, just to answer your question very clearly, this little set screw right here is how this saddle is, saddle holder. We'll call this a saddle holder, and I'll try and remember that language. This is a saddle holder, and I'm having to remove material out of this surface. And I might be able to do this a little better by having it out of here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And as you can see, this little set screw right here is what holds the saddle in place so that it doesn't move. So we'll adjust the height for the string action, then we'll tighten this down to hold that saddle in place. These will absolutely will work their way loose over time, which is how these, the owner of the instrument lost these. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to hold on to it like this, and I'm going to do some grinding on it. I think this is a little bit better way to do what I'm trying to do here. Did that answer your question, Kev? I hope. It gives me a little more room to move my file a bit further. And we are running the strings through the body of this guitar, and which the strings are almost too short to reach the machine heads. So my file's getting basically worn down. Steve Gunner, hello. Steve, this is a it's a PV grinder bass, and the guy that owns this is also a substitute bass player for my band, and he plays in bands here in town. He plays in one called Wicked Mary, and then he also subs for other bands. We actually both are kind of substitute players for it. He's a really, really great guy, and he's a really good bass player. He also plays drums, sings lead vocals, and is kind of the booking agent and caretaker for his band. So now, where I'm limited, and I may end up having to take some material off of this side of the string actually comes up through the saddle and then this direction. Hey, and unfortunately when PV built this guitar, the wood was too green, and so the wood has moved, and so I'm having to make up for that small mistake. Whew, this thing gets hot. Now, I'm not really concerned. I want to take enough material out of here that I've got the room. Sean, hello, man. Welcome. Great to see you, and thanks everybody for stopping in today. So I hope everybody is having a really great Friday. My weekend is going to be extremely busy, which I'm really proud of. A lot of music going on for me. I have 2 gigs with my, well, sort of. I have 2 gigs this weekend. I'm playing tomorrow night, Saturday, at a club called the T-Post. And we'll be playing our blend of reggae, rock, ska, funk at a country bar. Yes, they have a riding, a mechanical bull. So we will be playing there on Saturday, and then on Sunday we play from 9 to 1 tomorrow night. Saturday, which is the 19th of September here in Oregon. And then on Sunday, I have been hired, me and ultimately the vocalist in my band, they're going to rent our PA system to run sound for bands at the Miners Jubilee in Baker City. It's a big music festival / art show that is celebrating the industry of gold mining here in Northeast Oregon. Now, don't come here to find gold, because you probably won't. All of it's been basically raped from the earth, so if you come over here, you know, you won't find any. I just fair warning. Hope there's a cage on stage. That's a thing anymore. Yeah, we need the chicken wire. You are a Blues Brothers fan, I am assuming, Steve. I know I am. If the shit fits, wear it. You get my cheese whiz, boy? Right? Carrie Fisher, she was so hot in that movie. Oh my God. After Star Wars, dude, I fell in love with her. I was 13. Okay. Now, I'm getting a little crazy here, but I want to make sure to remove enough material. We're on a mission from God. You know it, brother. Oh, dude, we need to hang out sometime. I don't have any Blues Brothers t-shirts, but I do have some from the movie The Warriors. which I feel is, in my humble opinion, is one of the best movies ever made to portray a gang involvement in New York City in the 70s, or actually at any time in history, where it's just a very realistic show. My file's getting kind of worn down here, so it's not going real quick. I love that scene when they're in the nun's office and just getting the tar beat out of them. The Blues Brothers, if you haven't seen it, rent it right now and watch it. It's an old movie, and when I say old, it's not that old really. It's just from the 70s, right? No, 80s, early 80s. So that wasn't that long ago. Got to try and unload my file here. Actually, what I'm gonna grab a grinder real quick and hit this. Where? I gotta find my. There it is. This is what I was looking for. I have some grinders here that I can put in my. I'm just gonna do this real quick to try and clean my file so it can bite a little bit harder on getting the grindings out of this. Obviously I can't use sandpaper or a sanding grinder. Getting the tar beat out of them with the one of my favorite lines from that movie. 1980, there you go, Steve. Okay, so I'm gonna just try and remove some of the metal from my file. Hopefully my camera guy's following me here. That way my file can bite a little better. Wear safety glasses if you do something like this, because one of those little shards will fall out of there and poke you right in the eye. Okay, so wear safety glasses if you do that. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm not being real nice about this or worried about being super accurate, because I just need this to be low enough that the string passes over this. And I don't want to stop too soon, because then I'll have to pull it back out of there and start over again. I got to put the string back on there. I think I've gotten it down far enough. Yeah, 1980, so I would have been 9 years old when I watched that movie. Damn, I'm old. It's funny because I had a lady come in today to buy Taylor Swift's record, 1989, and I was like, oh, that's one of my favorite albums because it's the year I graduated from high school. And she goes, yeah, me too. I was like, ah, how cool is that? Okay, now I'm gonna get a flat file here, and I've got to take a little bit of material. I've got a nice little flat file here. I'm gonna take some of this, make sure the rough edges are off of this side of it. I don't want any rough edges on this thing. I'm gonna round off these edges here. And I don't want the owner of this instrument to slice his hand on these sharp edges that I've just created for him. So we're just rounding these off a little bit. Alright, all these little things, that's feeling really good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and test and see if my work that I've done at this point is adequate. Now, yesterday I did check the intonation with that saddle sitting right there, and it was pretty damn close. But in order to do the intonation on this instrument, you have to loosen this screw, push the saddle around, and then tighten this screw down, which these screws will also come loose due to the vibrations of the strings. This is really not a good design, in my humble opinion. Okay. Now, what I want to do, I need to double check here. Where's my string gauge? Where is my string gauge? String height gauge. It's probably right here. I want to make sure that my saddle is above, and it certainly is. So what I was doing there was making sure that the saddle is above this notch that I have in here. So we're going to go ahead and put the string back on here. The things we do, right? Alright, give me a second here. I've got to turn this by hand. Now, you'll notice I don't have the saddle height adjustment screws in the saddle just yet. I haven't done that yet because I just want to make sure at this point I've got the string actually too low. Okay, and I want to make sure that I'm not touching that. I'm not touching the front edge of this saddle, and I've got a little bit of room. Now I'm going to check this real quick with a piece of paper. If you want to check string clearance, if you're worried about a string hitting something, here's what I do. This might be a little way for maybe somebody will learn something here. So I take a piece of paper and I find one of the corners and I see if I can fit it under the string, and it does pass. It does not pass underneath the string and the front edge of this. So I'm going to check our string height. And we are way too low right now, which means I need to raise the string height. So I think I might be at a point now where I've gotten enough material removed out of that I can continue to move forward with the repair. Come on. Because I am definitely going to have to raise this string height a little bit. We're at about 2.5 64ths right now at the 17th fret. I'm measuring at the 17th fret because I want this guy to have really low string action, and this is a Fender scale instrument, so we're setting it up as if it was a J bass or a P bass or something like that. There we go. Now I also, okay, that just hit the I may shorten these adjustment screws also. There we go. I could tell that string just finally raised up above. Okay, no, that's but let's check our string height. I've got plenty of clearance there. Plenty of clearance, Clarence. 4 64ths, that's what I want. And we're at 4.5 on the B string, so let's see, or I'm sorry, I'm Freudian slip. See if I can lower this. And what I'm finding here is that these saddles, because of all the work that I've had to do on them thus far, now I'm not hitting the string, I'm hitting the screws above the string. I just want to tap those down and make sure they're fully seated. It's 4.5. That's 4.5. That's 4. And that's 4. So the string action on this is really low right now. So I'm going to bring this low B string up to 6 64ths because we need plenty of room for this low B string to turn in a circle over the frets. So I'm kind of doing a preemptive strike on our string action, then we'll tune it back up and see where we're at. All right, let me check this chat. Steve, I have to go back to, oh yeah. It was 12, jeez. Okay, Kev. Rachel Loa, hello, aloha. Oh, you, Rachel, I have got something for you today. No, I can share. I hope you're still here. And again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. It's really cool to see so many people watching these. I know it's just usually for a couple of seconds and all that, but it's really great to see so many people showing up. Rachel Loa, let me know if you're still here. Just put me a 1 or something in the chat if you can. I know people have better things to do than watch YouTube videos. People live lives. I certainly can't, but it's great to see you again. And I've been able to catch a couple of your husband's streams, which, what a great guy he is. It's really fun to watch his involvement in his channel. It's really cool. It seems like a really cool guy. You are a lucky lady. And I told him he's a lucky dude. You speak very highly of him, and that just means a lot. It's great to see a successful marriage. We're 4.5 on this B, and I'm going to have to take some off the bottom of this. Okay, check this out. All right, guys, this is what I have up and coming. I'll just preface this with the young lady that owns this guitar, and Rachel, you may know her. I don't know where she lives in Hawaii. I believe she lives on the main island of Hawaii. But tragedy struck. Shipping a guitar. And I think you all know where this is going. Give me a second, I'm going to grab it. Okay. Beautiful guitar. It is. It was a gift to her from her dad, and this poor thing. I think she shipped it. My understanding is Alaska Airlines, and very sentimental instrument, and I will tell you all that I will never, ever, ever recommend shipping an instrument or sending an instrument over an airline, ever. It has been nothing but destruction, and if you file an insurance claim or if you insure an instrument that you ship, it will never be approved when the airline breaks it. And I say when because their job is to break guitars like this. The headstock is completely snapped off of this. So the force that the airline used to make sure that this instrument was broken was extreme. This thing was definitely slammed down, and the instrument does have a scarf joint. So it took them quite a bit of effort to break this thing. So this poor young lady, a gift from her dad, has been ultimately destroyed by an airline. So again, if you are going to travel with your guitar, I'm going to put this thing down because I got to stay busy on my bass, but and if you are going to travel with a guitar or any wooden instrument, buy a plane ticket. If you want it to arrive safely, this is the only way that it can be done when you're flying or shipping an instrument, is to buy an extra ticket for your instrument to sit on the seat next to you. That is the only way. With Amazon and eBay and what's the other crappy places that sell all sorts of crap to everybody that they just throw away anyway. UPS, FedEx, every airline under the sun, when they see an instrument, they immediately try to break it. That's the truth. They are not paid well enough to take care of your products. They don't have insurance. It takes them and 3 of their children working to pay for rent. It's what the world has come to. Nobody cares, especially about instruments. So it's really, really sad that this happened. Very sentimental guitar. I will repair it regardless. I know what it means to this young lady because I have one of my dad's guitars also, and if it was damaged, it will never leave my home. I will make sure that it's safe. So anyway, be very careful about your instruments. If you travel with one, take it with you. I'm getting an air conditioner today, which is the reason why in the mail, because they cost far more here than they do that I could order it online, unfortunately. So I couldn't support a local business because they're so expensive. I couldn't do it. And it's supposed to arrive today. It was supposed to have arrived 2 weeks ago. So that, anyway, there you go. Labor of love. Yeah, Independent, hello. Thank you for being here. And thank you for modding for my channel. You guys, if you haven't subscribed to Independent, please go over and do that. I think most of you that are viewing my channel know Independent very well. And I think she's doing it. You've got a stream coming up tonight, I think. I won't be able to attend. I've got a lot of work cut out, man. I've got a bunch of songs that I'm still working on learning. Okay, so let's get back to this thing. The B string, or I'm sorry, the D string is a little bit too high right now. I want to be able to get this down. We're at almost 5/64ths, so I want that D string down to 4/64ths, and I want to check the height on this. I think I can lower this. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Now, I am going to have to go back and check our neck relief and our first fret action, because this instrument has really been through the ringer. Yep, I need to get that D string down a little bit lower. So here's my process for doing that. I've got to remove some material off the bottom of this saddle. So I'm just loosening the string tension. Let me get that out from underneath there. Loosening the string tension, and also I noticed I had some metal flakes on there. Just kind of getting all the dust out of this after yesterday's wood grinding and all that. Boy, it was a mess, and I didn't do any video of that. I was just too busy. I wish I could have shown you what I did on that, but this thing has required a lot of work. So I'm going to raise this saddle up out of here. I'm going to tighten this down so that the saddle stays put. I'm going to have to pull this saddle up out of here. Come on. There we go. So what I've got to do here is remove some of the material off the bottom of this saddle so that I can lower the string action. This is a really unusual repair that I'm doing here. I mean, I don't work on saddles like this, and I'm not a fan of the design of these things, although it's becoming more and more prevalent on modern instruments that they do this sort of stuff, but reinventing the wheel is not usually not a good idea. Alright, so let me grab my Dremel tool and we'll start in on that process. Where's my sander? Here's my sanding tool and my Dremel. I keep all my stuff fairly well in an organized mess. Here. Okay. Now remember that when you do this, I'm going to get you over here. When you do this kind of thing to an instrument, remember to wear eye protection. Okay, because your eyes, you get a flake of metal in your eyeball, it can cause some serious damage to you. So just be sure that when you do this, you wear very good eye protection, okay? Because you don't want to hurt your eyes, okay? So you want to protect these really very well, okay? Okay, so Rachel, thanks for being here. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Aloha. All right, we'll see you soon. Okay, Rachel's really cool. Her husband has a really neat YouTube channel where he plays and does some instruction and stuff. He and I would sitting in the same room would have an amazing conversation about music theory and such, I believe. Okay. Now, I know that saddle is short enough now that I can adjust the string action to the proper height. And I'm glad I wore my protective glasses on that one. I mean, I could have got a metal flake in my eye if if I had my head held in just the right spot where those little metal shavings were coming up, in the right trajectory, I could have been injured pretty severely. So my safety glasses, and then the position of my face not being right directly in the stream of those pieces flying out of there, I think was the proper thing to do. Now, I also forgot. I should have done this already. I'm going to remove a little bit more material out of that. So, actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and let the string, and I am going to put a fresh set of strings on this before it's all said and done. I put these. Here's the other thing: is that if you end up working on an instrument and putting the strings on it and taking them off as often as I have on this one, you are setting the owner or yourself up for broken strings. So now what I know is that the string is resting in the slot that I have out of there. The saddle is not holding up on that string, and I'm down at 3/64. So I now know that I have enough material removed to be able to get this string action correct on this. So what I'm looking for is 4/64 of an inch at the 17th fret. Now it's starting to move that string, so I know that the string will not be touching the front edge of this saddle. I mean, amazing, amazing. We're still right around 3/64. And I didn't tune the string up to pitch, but we will do that soon enough. And then we'll check her out. 4/64, 3.5, 4/64, 5/64.5, and 6. Let's try this thing out, see what she sounds like, and see if all the frets work. Lurker.
Okay.
Yep. Lots of lurkers. All right. Should be able to do this. So.
Right. We have tons of those one power amps. You just have to.
Of course.
Way back on gain. But I thought if I need to pad the order a little bit, you know, so you need some 10s or 12s, right? But preferably 10s with horns, like the PVX 10s, right?
I know this. If this is getting loud, it's because my bass is plugged into my DAW, and I'm able to get this bass tone because I need to hear it properly to know that my work is done right. All right, let's tune this thing up and see what how she's working. Oh. So I've got a little bit of fret buzz. So we also have the string action extremely low. And so also a couple of these strings have gotten bent because I accidentally struck them with a hammer. But I can raise this string action safely now up to a height where I can probably make this fret buzz vanish and still have acceptable string action. Yeah, this string is bent right here at the 6th fret. It's got a little divot in it, so that's causing that fret buzz. Okay, now check neck relief. Let's see where our neck relief's at, because the neck relief might also right now be pretty shallow. Oh yeah, it's flat. I want to check my top edge. Yes, so with all the work that I have done on this, it's basically start over on the setup. I've had the strings on and off this bass multiple times. It's astonishing, and neck through basses are just notorious for this. Let me I forgot to turn the volume down. There we go. Oh, bless your heart, man. You know, I just did a couple shorts the other day about this, and bless you for working on your wife's car, about fixing my own transmission, where, you know, when I was a young man, or a young kid, 6, 7 years old, you know, the lawnmower was broken. My parents didn't have money to go buy a new one. And my dad took me outside and had me hold the wrenches and hold the flashlight, and he showed me how to change the spark plug and clean it and do all that stuff, and turning a screwdriver and the socket and all that stuff. And I learned to work on my own stuff, and learned that I could fix a lawnmower, make it. My dad helped, you know, showed me how to do it. He's like, if you want to gap this spark plug, you got to use this little tool, which is where I learned to use gapping feeler gauges and stuff like that. So it's important to learn that stuff, but God bless you, Steve. And brakes are kind of fun to work on, especially if they're shoes. I sure do love those. Or pads, I'm sorry. The shoes and the drum brake, they suck, right? Okay, so I got to create some more underbow in this instrument, and I've got to put new strings on this thing. So this thing has been a pretty big job. And PV is smart enough to put the strings, the screws directly under the strings on here. So if you want to get at the truss rod, you know, they put the screws. They're not smart enough to. I mean, I'll be careful about that. But boy, these guys sure could have done us techs and people that have to work on these instruments. They build them as if they're never going to have to be worked on. There isn't one neck through guitar ever built that doesn't need the truss rod adjusted. It is a terrible idea to buy a neck through guitar, in my humble opinion. Leo Fender did it right the first time. So to get these screws out of here, and if you're at a gig and you have to turn these, that's what you get to do. And you won't have these with you, so you won't be able to get the screw out of here. You'll drop it on the floor and you'll lose it on that dark stage. And I always, you know, when I'm working on instruments, I think about these poor guys doing gigs, having to play an instrument like this and then having a problem. I mean, I don't know many guitar players that take tools with them to gigs. How do I know this? Because they play in a band with guys that don't bring tools with them. But they're lucky, because I do. I do. My little Ibanez multi-tool, that has saved gigs. And here, let me also, while I'm doing this, I want to show you this tool that every guitar player should buy right now. Literally, if you don't own one of these, go buy it, because you will be thanking me at some point in time, especially if you play in a band. Where are you? It's in here someplace. I know. There it is, right there. That. If you don't own one of these and you play guitar, I'll be very careful. Oh, and you need an AK's Mercado sticker. Go buy one of these or something in that proximity. And also buy yourself a pair of dikes and a pair of needle nose pliers. And throw those in your guitar rig, and if you have a problem, you can usually fix it. Okay. Truss rod adjustment. Now, I have to move the D string on this instrument because anyway, these guys. All right, I got that out of the way. I need a 5mm. And if you have a whole set of these in your rig, that's not a bad idea either. But that Ibanez multi-tool has most of this stuff in it. So now I need to loosen this truss rod. Remember, this thing was really tight. There we go. Now, when you're adjusting your truss rod, you absolutely have to keep your instrument in tune. Otherwise, you're adjusting it. Like I had to just change the pitch of my D string. Might need to change. Now, I know you're probably not able to hear this right now. I'm just tuning it acoustically. Boy, it is not liking. Okay, now let's check the neck relief. And you know, I've made the mistake of having the capo there, tuning the guitar, forgetting I had the capo on there, just oversight. Yeah, I've done it. All right, so let's see what our neck relief's like now. I gave it about a half a turn because the neck relief was not even close. I'm going to unplug this instrument. There we go. Okay, and man, this truss rod is, it either doesn't move it or it moves it a quarter mile. So I'm going to try and, I've got to tighten the truss rod further now. It's amazing how sensitive this thing is. And in order to turn it, I've got to loosen the tension on the A string and return the truss rod. So I'm just going to give it one tiny little move like that. This thing does move the okay, let's check our neck relief now. We're checking the underbow in the neck, or the neck relief is what I like to call it. 12 thousandths. And it's like literally a mile high right now. So I'm having to redo all of this. I've had to do this multiple times on this instrument. It's just if I sound a little frustrated, it's because I don't have to put this much time into making these types of adjustments on very many instruments at all. Neck through. Terrible, 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 terrible way to build a guitar. They're very unreliable, and if they move, you're screwed. Or you got to pay somebody like this to do this, all this stuff to this instrument. It's terrible. So now I've gone too far. How many times have I adjusted this truss rod yet? I mean, we got to do it sometimes, don't get me wrong. But this thing, literally, that tiny little movement right there probably just and every time I put this, I have to loosen the tension on that string. It weakens the string. Take it off the saddle, out of the oops, and I can already see that my string action is now way too high. Now we're talking. And even then, it's still, there's not enough. So I have to loosen this just a little bit further. I keep going forwards and backwards on this thing. And I mean, I barely moved that thing at all that time. This is one of the more sensitive truss rods I've ever had to deal with. I mean, I barely moved that thing, just barely cracked it. Alright. I'm going to call that good. It's a little bit less than what I would like, but let's see where our string action is at now. So now our B string at the 17th fret is at 764. So that little movement of the truss rod raised the string action immensely. Everything moved a lot. 5, 4, 5, 6. I mean, ay. Please don't buy a neck through instrument. They are really, there is no reason that an instrument should be this difficult to set up, in my humble opinion. And you know how many hundreds of guitars. I got like 900 guitar repair videos. Ridiculous. Dude. Stu.
Yes, sir.
Please just tell me to calm down.
Calm down, because you're working on that style of bridge. They will make you crazy. Especially when you've got other issues.
Man, I mean, I'm battling everything on this. That truss rod, dude, if you move it a 1/28th of a turn, boom, 1/28 the other way, boom,
real extreme, yeah.
It's a fucking neck through, and these things can suck it, man.
These things are terrible. They're particularly touchy.
Yeah. You know, I really want this thing to be, I mean, I'm not going to stop until it's right. But
the only one I found worse is the dual rod 6-string.
Or the Ricks.
Well, the Ricks can be particularly bad because the rods like to bend at the end.
Yep.
Especially the vintage ones.
Yes. Ugh. Alright, so forgive me for sounding a little flustered, but boy, this is frustrating to have to do this much work just for a setup. It's just arg. Alright, so another kind of cool thing that I got going is that this week, mark my words, this week I may get to shake the hand and give my brother a hug, my brother from another mother, who may be coming to visit me. And I'm not going to mention any names, but he's one of the kindest people I have ever met. Okay. And now I'm faced with these little adjustments that I'm doing, and they're little, but what I'm finding is that now I may have to create another little divot, because now this E string is hitting the saddle holder, what I call it. That's as loose as it'll go, and the saddle's as low as it'll go. So I just want to, and the string action's not low enough. Just ugh. Now I'm going to use my paper test here. We'll see if I've got clearance. See if I've got clearance. Okay, so that does go through there. And I've got to take more height off of this saddle. I'm going to see how that works. And we're up to almost 7/64 on our low E. I should be able to take a little bit of height out of this. Yep, I can. Small movements. Come on. All right, now we're talking. Okay, so all of that, my goodness. Johnny Bean, what's up happening? What's happening, brother? One thing about working on your own vehicles, the money, dude. Okay, and brother, let me just share this. Johnny Bean, welcome. Hanagadas, PV Grind 5. Yeah, pretty nice instrument, but I'm having similar issues with mine. Yeah, well, hopefully the whole point of this channel is to help guys like you maybe fix your own. So I have 3 parts that have videos on this particular bass. If you've caught any of those, you know, if you're having problems, you might go back. They're kind of long and drawn out because they're live, and you know what it's like working on your own instruments. Nothing happens quickly, and if you hurry, things aren't going to be right. With regard to your comment, Steve. Okay, you may have already heard this, but for everyone who maybe is a little afraid of working on your own car, my transmission control module failed on mine. My little OPB or PMB2 meter that you plug in and it tells you what's wrong told me that the transmission solenoid was bad. So I replaced it, right? And that was hard to get at. It took me about 3 hours to get that replaced. Did that, didn't fix the problem. The same thing happened. So I didn't know what to do, so I took it to a shop here in town. And I'm not going to name that shop. And they told me what was wrong with my car. They did a test. I'm guessing that it probably took them less than 15 minutes, including drive time, for their machine to tell them, the computer machine, to reader, to tell them what was wrong with my instrument. I'm guessing 15 minutes because I have one. I know how they work. So went in, picked up my car. Your transmission control module is bad. It's an electronic part. Okay, I know where it is. And they're like, to get you a new one and to install it, it's $800 and change. $800 and change. And I'm talking, when I say change, like $847 or something. This is the shop here in town. And the guys are really nice. They told me where it was and all that. They said, if you want us to do the work, we'll take the money off of that. You're going to have to pay us for this assessment of what's wrong. $167 to hook a computer up to my car and drive it around the block for it to tell them that my and believe me, I know that's all it took. So I knew where it was. I looked online. Brand new one was $400 and some odd. I get that. Okay, they would have to buy a brand new one. They don't want to buy a used one. I get that. So I looked online, found a used one out of a car, 96 Dodge Stratus, mind you. People fear me because I drive that car. 96. It was in a traffic accident in 1998. So the thing was used for 2 years. I don't know how many miles were on the car. Don't give a shit. It was a used one, and I know it worked. Ordered it. Yeah, it took 2.5 weeks to get here. It's eBay, right? $14.95, including shipping. They were going to charge me $400 and some odd for the brand new one. Okay? And there's 3 short videos yesterday that I did, 4 of them on YouTube. You can watch them. It took me less than 15 minutes to pull the old one out, put the new one in, fire up my car, and start driving it. And they wanted $800 and some odd to do that for me. So be very careful about knowing how to work on your own instrument, meaning work with some tools. Learn how to turn a crescent wrench, learn how to turn a socket set, learn how to use a screwdriver or a nut runner. 2 sockets, literally. So for the money that I would have spent, like you just said, Steve, that I would have spent them, I could literally buy an entire snap-on socket set that would fit every nut, bolt, or washer in my entire nut, bolt, screw, Torx head in my car, literally. Yep. Yeah, Johnny, you're right. Yeah. So there you go. My stories with that is over. So I'm pretty close on this thing. Let's plug her in and see what she's sounding like now. And I appreciate y'all hanging with me. I know these take a long time, and I get a little long-winded over stuff. But when subjects like that come, I really feel like it's my responsibility to folks to tell them about my experiences with that. So hopefully, if you have one of these grinder bases, which are pretty cool, maybe this will help you fix yours. No, I haven't even intonated this thing yet. This string has a dent on it right here. So, having said that, let me see. That's a D. Let me check this set real quick. I need to measure this string. I think I have a spare G string. Let me measure it. I want to see 45 thousandths. Zero this out. Check this. Yes. Alright, so I'm going to put a new G string on this because the one that is on here already is dented. It's got a dent in it, thus the fret buzz. And I believe I dented it by hitting it with a hammer, unfortunately, when I was trying to pound a fret into the fret slot. So, meaning the fret had popped, and I'll turn the volume down. I think I heard. Yeah, I've got a crackety. So I'll have to shoot some contact cleaner in that machine, or that volume pot, to clean that up. the little things that we find while working on one of these things by testing out other stuff is how I'm able to do very thorough work. And when I give the instruments back to my clients, there's zero complaints. I'll fix stuff that they don't even know is wrong with their instruments. Get my glasses out of here because I find it most of the time. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so looking forward to our gig tomorrow night. Finally get to play again. Been working on learning new material. It's a bunch of classic rock stuff, which it's not my favorite style of music, but if it's music and I get to play it, I have fun. And the set of strings that I'm using on this are 45 to 135, I believe, on this 5-string bass. So again, I'm gonna turn the volume down. Sorry about that if that was bugging you with the volume. Okay. Yes, I should put the bass down on my bench, but I'm just gonna do this right here as if I was sitting at home working on it. Go. That's how I do it. I don't know if you could see that. Oh yeah. So this is a gig, ultimately like fixing a string at a gig. And give me a second here.
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's happening?
Just got done doing my thing.
Out doing your thing?
Oh, yeah, what's happening with you?
Great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you too.
You got the circle memorized yet?
I know the positions, but as far as transitioning from the one to the other, I just need practice.
The E position to A, yeah, that's a tough one. Yep, it takes time.
Sure.
Take your time, and absolutely. Here's what I tell her: if you're playing and you're like, fuck, and you start getting rattled or you get stressed, roll your shoulders.
Yeah.
Dude, that just calm. I should have practiced what I preached today. This bass is pissing me off. But
Oh, shit.
great to see you, man.
Yeah, great to see you too.
Did you go see Scott today?
No, I haven't.
Oh, just wonder.
No, I just was, let's see, did yoga classes, and then went and got coffee with my wife,
Yoga?
so, yeah.
Where are you doing that?
I've done it at several different places.
Oh, okay.
This one is at Studio 4, kind of by the sub shop there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do it through Peak and Art Center East.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
man, that is a great activity to get into.
I had to, by nervous system and head injury stuff. I don't get a choice. I just go do it.
Have you? You mentioned yoga, so and I've done it before, and I've kind of gotten out of it. Just you know how it goes. You work out for a while and you quit. Have you read the book The Four Agreements?
I think so, actually.
It's a little book.
That one is so familiar. Remind me what the contents of that one.
It's the four agreements. Are agreements that you make with yourself about how to be a good person and be peaceful. Like the agreements, one of the four agreements is don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, if I could put that in practice, I wouldn't be perfect, but I'd be awful damn close. No, I'm joking.
Sure.
But yeah, you mentioned yoga, but when I found that book was due to when I was doing yoga at a class. I think it was at the Becky's Dance Studio when it was there. But anyhow, I did it, and somebody turned me on.
Whenever I got a chance like that from people that I know, I'm gonna put that in here right now.
Dude, I ordered it yesterday. I'm supposed to get it on Saturday, and I was in the habit of reading it twice a year to remind myself of how amazing that book is.
Yeah.
Like
I'm getting it right now. It's on there. So I do that when I'm doing my sawmilling because I wear earmuffs that have some sound in it. And so I listen to books while I'm working. Works really good for my ADHD. I got more than one thing going, and then I can actually register what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing a live stream right now, so. Okay, let's check our string action here, because I may have a popped fret, but I'm going to raise it. I want to get up to 4. Setting this thing. Oh. Okay. I want to practice what I preach. I want to practice what I preach and calm down and shake my shoulders. Guys, here's something about this type of bridges that really, absolutely, terribly is just such a terrible design.
Lady has a question about transferring tape to CD.
Oh.
Just 1 second here.
Hi, this is Marshall. Okay. Yes, absolutely, and I do that for a lot of folks. Generally, and now I know this is going to sound outrageous, but I have to do it kind of in real time. So make sure that the tape flows perfectly, that there aren't any issues with the cassette, so that I can either correct something. I have to do it in real time. So I'll assume if it's an album, it's probably maybe 30 to 40 minutes worth of music on that thing, likely. So typically the cost of doing that's right around $100. And what I can do for you also is we can digitize it and put it on a CD for sure, but something else that I do highly recommend is to put it on a thumb drive. And okay, right. Well, not to find that one, that might be a unobtainium. I hate to say it, but that's probably the case. Especially given he's from Madras. I mean, you might be able to contact. I mean, reach out to a record shop over that way, which I don't think there are any anymore. Amazon's kind of destroyed that whole world. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah, but at the same still, I do highly recommend digitizing that, because tapes, you set them down on a magnet or anything, you don't know how many amazing ideas have been lost from setting a cassette tape down next to a stereo speaker in a car, and that's no joke. All it takes is a magnet. Yep. So if you'd like me, right, yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff. So maybe that will save you from ruining it. But if you'd like me to digitize it, you can bring it in here. I have a very, very nice cassette deck here that I use. It's very good speed. And when I digitize it, again, I keep an eye on it in real time to make sure that it gets transferred properly. So I would love to do that for you. Okay. No, I have to do it in real time. So, you know, the 40-minute length of the tape. Now, are you here in LeGrand, or are you planning on bringing it to me from, you live here in LeGrand? Okay, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're traveling from Baker, what I could do is have you drop it off. I'll get right on it and save you a trip back. But you may need to leave it with me for a day or overnight. It depends really on what I have on my bench at that moment. But if I know it's coming in, I'll make an appointment with you and get on it immediately. Okay. Yeah, usually, yeah. Bring it by. I'd be happy to do that for you. And we'll do a thumb drive and the CD just so that you've got that. And with the thumb drive, what you can do is put it into your any computer that you use, or even if your most car stereos have a USB port on them, you can plug it in there and listen to it just like you could a CD. Right. And you can also put it on the cloud or your Google Drive or whatever, and anybody you know, you can share it with them. No, that's something that you could do on your own. But if you're not using that kind of stuff, don't worry about that. You'll still have the CD and the thumb drive, so the thing is preserved. Yep. 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 And what we could do, yeah, all we would have to do is be able to transfer the music from, and if it's an iPhone, unfortunately, those can get a little tricky. But nonetheless, you can do that. You can put them on iPhones, so you have to pay to have music put on your phone ultimately, which is really a bummer. But nonetheless, at least as far as I know, but you can do that. So he could put it on his phone and then listen to it via his Bluetooth speaker or whatever, headphones. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. You're welcome. Thanks. All right. You too. Bye. Oh, jeez.
Alrighty, I was just gonna pay and square up with you there.
Oh.
Stay out of your
Cool.
business here.
What do you want to do?
So I think 5 would get me what I've done, and through the end of the month, if I paid for 5 total lessons.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
120 and 30.
30. So 150. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. What's the best way?
Cash works. Venmo works. Whatever you want to do.
So how does Venmo transfer? Do I have to come from Venmo to get to that? Or?
Yeah, you have to transfer money from your bank account to Venmo. And if I
can't
use
go from my bank account to your Venmo then.
Yes. Well, let's see. Not really sure. Hang on. Let me mute this microphone before we don't want to say anything. It's going to get quiet for a moment. Okay, so we're back, and the saddle fell out of this when I was changing the string. So now I get to dig around here on the floor and try and find that thing. I think it fell on the floor, so this may take me a few minutes. I'm going to look around here on my bench. I cannot believe the trouble that I've had working on. This bass has been one of the more troublesome instruments I've ever had to work on. Just, ugh. Dang it.
Oh. I've seen these before.
Yeah, you can see how she packaged it up with those towels.
Yeah.
That's how it was packaged when the airline broke it.
Jesus.
you seen the video of the night it broke my guitar?
I don't know.
Pull it up on YouTube.
Does it show it happen?
Yeah, the guy, they wouldn't let him check it. It was like a, no, not this, but it's a, it's very famous video. Pull it up on YouTube.
It's the one where your Martin got broke?
No, it's just a guy who watched his guitar get broken on the tarmac.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I have seen that many times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To the cringe of... sad. Yep, I've seen it. Okay, so I gotta try and find the saddle again now, or I'll have to make another one if I can't find it. So I need lights. Oh, where did you go? I found it.
You lucky man.
Okay, so I found it. It did land on the floor, and it landed way over there, not right where I was working on it. So I think I've discovered why I've got fret buzz on this thing. These saddles, I absolutely, dude, I hate these things.
Yeah.
I don't hate anything, but I hate these. These suck. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible design. Did I say terrible enough? Should I repeat it one more time?
Yeah, that'd be terrible if you had to repeat it one more time, how terrible it is.
Terrible.
They are very, very annoying.
Alright, now, boy, I think I'm awful close. I haven't had to work on an instrument for this much time, and I don't even know how long.
Yeah, it's not your friend.
I mean, but how am I going to tell, hey Jeff, your bass is just a piece of shit, throw it away? Which is, now, it's priceless, but...
Yeah, you got some time, it's very wonderful.
Alright, good grief. Holy gosh, you guys, man, wow, what a pain. Alright, now let's see if we have fret buzz. Because the reason we had fret buzz, because the saddle was, that saddle had fallen out of there. Okay, now we should have a nice, clean bass at this point. Man, okay. So, okay, at this point, I'm kind of out of, let me turn off the volume. What I'm running into here is chasing frets, and so I did a fret level on the first, the 24th through the 13th fret, and I'm going to end up doing a fret level on the rest of the instrument now also because of the neck shrinkage and the imperfections in the frets and such. So probably best for me to end this stream now. I've got to get busy on this thing, and I really don't want to do this live. So my hope is that maybe this has helped you guys realize that don't buy one of these. No, I'm joking, but these things. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kind of you.
Take care.
All right. Hey, we'll be in Walla Walla tomorrow night if you want to make it over.
Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Where at?
T-Post.
Okay.
They have a riding bull.
Oh, nice.
It is not an all ages show, just
Okay.
but
Yeah.
we'll be there.
No, I've been doing a few things like that just on my own, so that might be perfect.
Come on over, it'll be fun.
Right on.
We'll let you carry all of our gear.
I'll
How's
bet.
that?
I'd be happy.
Hey man.
Later, man.
Thank you, Buster. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Cool. I like that. That helped. All right, you guys. Get a bigger hammer. Yeah, dude. Damn, Mark. Dude. Howdy. Alan. Hey, Mark. Alan and Alan. For agreements help. Yeah, good. Yeah. A lot of work. Yeah. So, you guys, I'm gonna end this stream now. This is just becoming a very annoying instrument to try and fix. And I'll just the few details. The neck through design, I do not ever recommend anybody ever buying a neck through, and I don't care if it's a Nuno Betancourt or anything. They're terrible designs. Also, buying a guitar with a set neck is a really bad idea. Bolt-on necks can be fixed. The neck angle can be changed. And I don't care what they say about, I'm going out on a limb here, but I don't care what they say about the contact between the neck and the body and the 4 bolts and all that shit. Prove to me that it sounds different. Show me some video and some audio of proof that there's such a massively better thing to have a neck through design. Prove it. Because I'm not going to do that research, because I have to fix these things, and I am faced with this, and you've watched me. Take it apart, put it apart, take it together, hit it with a hammer, file on it, sand the saddles lower. The neck angle went like this after he bought it. That's just ugh. And it's not just Peavey, any brand. So there's my my statement. Yes, indeed, Steve. My set neck. Yeah, Schecter. I'd hate to have to fix a broken neck. Yeah. Yeah, I need to step away from this one for a moment because it's just becoming really frustrating to have to do all this stuff. And I can't, every step I take, if I change one thing, everything else changes on this thing. It's just, ugh. And you can watch all 3 episodes where I fix one thing, fix something else, and something else has got to be fixed. And I fix that, something else has got to be fixed. Fix that, something else has got to be fixed. It's just a nightmare. And a long process. So this is going to be, unfortunately, a pretty spendy. Of course, I don't charge them for the time that I'm sitting here talking on YouTube. So I hope you guys have a great Friday. It looks like Monday could be an interesting day for me. And in fact, my friend, I'm literally, let's see. If I point that way, if I started walking about 800 feet, I'd be at the front door of that spot that you took a photo of today. Literally, about 800 feet. I could be there in less than, how long would it take me to walk that far? Less than 3 minutes walking. Yep. There we go. Oh, wait, no, here we go, Mark. All right, you guys. Have a really great day. Have a happy weekend, and maybe we'll see you over the weekend at some point. Peace, y'all.